I'd like to take just a small portion of my time to apologize to Jim and Anita. There is a strategic plan. My point is that we need to make it comprehensive. We need to have a values audit. We need to have gap analysis and performance audits. We need to, when there needs to be benchmarking and accountability to those benchmarks, and the school board needs to adopt that strategic plan and fund it. Why should you vote for me? What quality? Leadership. And I don't mean to say that to be pretentious. What I mean by leadership is leadership that's not focused on self-promotion or pride, or leadership that's not focused on self-protection or fear to keep my job. Leadership that's based on service. Leadership that is not enamored with position and power, but leadership that is focused on service and sacrifice, which is exactly what I think is a major requirement for this board. I've had the opportunity to be blessed to hone my knowledge, skill, ability, and wisdom in leadership at a local level, at a regional level, and on an international level with public safety special operations teams. And I'd like to leverage that knowledge, skill, ability, and experience on the school board and administrative service. If elected, I promise when I make a covenant with you that I will provide with other board members oversight of the school district and report to you on benchmarking and accountability. You meaning my customer, the student, the teacher, the taxpayer, and families. So please help us on April 7th. Thank you for coming out. I know everybody was really tired. I'm tired myself. I'm happy I had Starbucks with me. I'd be fading fat. So thank you for being here, and thank you more for caring about education.
I'd just like to thank CASLA. Although I may not always show it, I do appreciate what you bring to the table. And you have many fine ideas. You hold our feet to the fire and make me comfortable, but that's probably the place where they should be. I'd also like to thank Mr. Arusa for standing up and showing me, even though I'm a big guy, he's bigger.
I'm a go-to
I'm excited about the next 4 years. I think that we put some pieces in place that we can, they're a foundation to really start building on it. I think we have a long way to go. Very disappointed in the scores this year in the elementary schools because they have run it. And I'm hoping that it is a temporary glitch. But if it's not, we have to address it. We have to address it hard. What I want to provide is leadership, hopefully quiet leadership, new ideas, sense of responsibility. Thank you.
Rhetoric is great. Our school district has a perception of that there's so many problems going on in our school district. And if you ask the majority of the students, and I talk with the students all the time on a daily basis because I'm in these schools all the time with the students. The biggest issue is that we need to address things with our teachers and in our classroom. All of the other things, the things that I call adult issues with the budgeting and all of that stuff, the school board started working on that 3 to 4 years ago. Initiatives that you are now seeing that are being implemented, they were initiated 3 to 4 years ago. If you sit on that school board, you will learn and understand that it's a complex animal. It's not something that someone can just go in and think that they're going to change things just like that, because it's not going to happen. It's unrealistic to believe it's going to happen. And we've talked about it. We had questions regarding charter schools, vocational, CSP, AP. You know, all of that has to do with the one thing, educating children.
Yes, I would like to correct a few things. It said that we voted down neighborhood support. That is not true. It was never brought to a vote. What happened is there were a couple meetings under Dr. Kernan, and after those couple meetings, he lost interest in having neighborhood schools. There were board members that continued to want to have neighborhood schools, but it was never implemented, and it was never brought to a vote before the board. Also, with regard to town hall meetings was brought up. You have a problem with the Open Meeting Act of having a town hall meeting because when 3 board members congregate in one place, you must post that. Otherwise, you'll be in violation of the Open Meeting Act. And it was tried one time by a board member, and we got into problems with the Open Meeting Act. That's why you don't have town hall meetings. You must have a regular meeting. The only time you're a board member is when we are together, duly called meeting, and you vote at that time. Other times we are a member of the board, but we are not. We cannot do or make promises to anybody with regard to any actions. With regard to benchmarks and goal setting, each year we meet with the superintendent and the board members set goals and put them in his contract. We then evaluate the superintendent as to whether he has met those goals. So there is benchmarking and ideas from the board that are considered each year and they're part of the superintendent's contract. I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. You have 4 votes in the election on next Tuesday. I ask that you consider me for one of those 4 votes. I would like to continue to serve this community. I feel that in the past I have shown that I'm willing to be a lone vote in some of the things that come up before the board. And a couple times I have been proven that the vote that I made was the correct one, and the rest of the board members what they had voted for was not right. I based my opinion on what was given to me.
I've been a businessman for about 28 years. One thing that I've had to learn to survive is how to get things done. I believe that the job of education has to be treated like a business. This is a business. It's a business of educating our children. We have to make decisions. We have to exercise managerial and fiscal responsibility. We have to have accountability. We have to show leadership, and we have to have integrity. All these qualities are important in the school board member. One thing that I can assure you is I'm willing to roll up my sleeves. I've done that since being on the board, being appointed to the board about a year and a half ago. I've been willing to work. I've been willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. I'm very impressed by the band program, our orchestra program, our choir program, and the impact that programs like this have on our children. I see the way that these programs engage the children to succeed, to work hard, because they have something that brings meaning to their lives. Same thing with our athletics students, our basketball team, our soccer team, our rifle team. These activities are things that engage our children, and what we need to do is we need to focus on these activities, capitalize on whatever will make our children want to succeed and want to come to school and want to do well. I know that the athletes don't always want to be in class. They don't always want to be taking their tests and doing well, but they know they have to if they're going to continue to be on their team. These are the kinds of things that we need to look at and engage our children to whatever extent is possible. I do have a dream for what I'd like to see in our school district. I'd like to see some of our programs expanded. I'd like to see a classical studies program in our school, teaching kids Latin and Greek if that's something that they're interested in. I'd like to see a language program, more language program. I want to see our school district not just meet the minimum requirements that it has to satisfy the government. I want us to be a shining star. I want to see us be an example of all the school districts in the state of Illinois.